We have often seen all kinds of weird and bizarre creatures being fantasized in the movies. But what about real life? And here are 5 bizarre alien-like creatures that live in the earth. Who knows, they might be real aliens spying on us in the darkest nights and we don't even have a hunch. The star-nosed mole is one of the 30 species of moles in mammalian order Insectivora. Although they're rarely seen, they're relatively common in the wetlands of eastern and northern America and Canada. They weigh about 30 to 50 grams and have a large clawed forelimbs for digging their extensive underground burrows. Like most other moles, they give birth to a single litter of 4 to 6 youngs in the spring. Moles in general have small eyes and make their living by touch, eating invertebrates that they identify by feeling in the soil. The star is a unique and biological novel of sensory adaptation that gives these moles their unusual appearance and allows them to find food with incredible speed and efficiency. A foraging mole touches the star to the ground 10 to 15 times per second and can identify and eat a small prey item in as little as 120 milliseconds. Did you know this behavior has earned them a place in the Guinness Book of World Record as one of the fastest mammalian eaters? I wonder if they get certificate for that. The star is not for smell, as might be guessed, but instead as a touch organ. It is composed entirely of domed epidermal sensors called AIMOS organ. The 22 fleshy appendages that form the star are covered with 25,000 of these touch domes. This high-resolution mechanosensory system has a tactile fovea at the center of the star. The lowermost 11th pair of appendages used for detailed investigation and large, low-resolution appendages that surround the touch fovea. Okay, who would you say is the toughest animal on this planet? A lion? Maybe a muskox? Gorilla probably, or maybe even elephants. I would agree they're strong, but you're completely wrong. See what I did there? Tardigrades under the microscope are oddly cute, but they're astonishingly, yeah you guessed it, the toughest animal on the earth. Honestly, tardigrades seem like the type of animal Pixar would feature in a life-affirming yet heart-wrenching children's movie. Just look at one, and you'll see why. Tardigrades, which grow up to a millimeter in length, swim with 4 sets of stubby legs that appear much too small for their bodies. At the end of each leg is a set of stubby claws. Tardigrades lumber around the water like a bear might while crossing a river, hence their nickname water bears. Tardigrades can cope with pressure 6 times higher than those at the deepest part of the ocean, but can also withstand the lack of oxygen and low pressure of vacuum. You might not realize this, but this is a pretty crazy thing. The researchers discovered that tardigrades protein named D-sub binds to the chromatin, DNA cells inside the cell, and forms a protective cloud against extreme survival threats such as radiation damage. If we all know about how tardigrades protect themselves from threats, we ought to know how they mate, right? So the researchers set out to correct the gap in the science, filming 30 tardigrade couples copulating for a first-of-its-kind study. Feels like I'm narrating history. Well, turns out they have sex for an hour. Pretty energetic, I must say. I agree, they have the cutest eyes, don't they? They have the biggest eyes relative to the body size of any mammal. If a human were to have such ratio, we would be carrying 2 big grapefruits. As if we don't already. Pardon me? Their eyes. Their eyes are 16 millimeter in diameter, and each of these eyes is heavier than its brain and are fixed in their skull, giving the tiny primate look of perpetual surprise. Philippines Tarsier have a great range of motion in their necks. They can rotate their heads 180 degrees in each direction, the greatest range of any mammal. Only an owl can rotate its head further. Like an owl, the Philippines Tarsier is nocturnal, so their eyes are beneficial when they search for food in the dark, maximizing their vision. Their ears, which are large, soft, and hairless, are often compared to the ears of the bat. Their fur is short and soft, and can be various degrees of brown. sometimes with grey or reddish hues. The Philippines tarsier has a long, deft finger and toes which aid in climbing trees, and its second and third toes have special nails that are used for grooming. Tarsiers hunt their prey by jumping from branch to branch. Their long hairless tails aid these arboreal primates in navigating the trees. They can leap up to 16.5 feet. These primates are very shy and spend their entire day holed up in trees and bushes out of sight before waking up at night to find food. They are very active while they hunt, jumping from trees to trees. Because of their elusiveness and nocturnal lifestyle, they rarely cross paths with humans. Philippines tarsier are often seen in small groups up to 5 together at once, but they are considered as the solitary animals. They are monogamous and breed year-round. They are small and don't look very intimidating, but are highly territorial. If a male ventures into another male's territory, they fight to death. The winner even goes so far as to kill his fallen rivals young. When the Aztecs settled the Valley of Mexico in the 13th century, they found a large salamander living in the lake surrounding the islands where they built their capital, Tenochtitlan. They called the salamander Axolotl after Axolotl, their god of fire and lightning. Axolotl was said to have transformed into a salamander among other forms to avoid being sacrificed so the sun and moon could move in the sky. He was eventually captured and killed. Axolotl's carnivore diet historically placed them at the top of the food chain. They can grab anything they can snatch: mollusks, fish, arthropods like insects and spiders. They even eat each other. Axolotl's reproduction starts with dancing. Literally. After a male and a female nudge and stroke one another's urogenital opening called cloaca, the salamanders step in a circle in a sort of waltz, according to the University of Michigan's Animal Diversity Web. The male then struts away while shimmying his tail like a hula dancer, luring the females to follow. As the two dance partners step together, the male drops a small white capsule full of sperms called spermatophore. With the female in the tow, the male moves forward until the female just skirts over the spermatophore and picks it up with her cloaca. Surveys in 1998 and 2008 found the population density has dropped from about 6,000 individuals per square kilometer to 100 per square kilometer. That's pretty drastic, I must say. Even worse, a more recent survey in 2015 found about 35 individuals per square kilometer. Among the axolotl's trademark talents is its ability to regrow almost any part of his body. Feet, legs, arms, tails, even bits of his heart and brain. And they don't even stop regeneration of their own body parts. All sorts of organs, including eyes, can be transplanted between axolotls without rejection by the recipient's body's immune system. In 1968, researchers showed that they could even transplant the head of one axolotl to another, and it functioned normally. The combination of these abilities make axolotl an attractive model organism for scientists. Sea sapphires are copepods, little crustaceans with long antennae that live nearly everywhere water is found. In the open sea, they live between the surface and about 1,000 feet. Sea sapphires are an exception. Though they are often small and a few millimeters, they are stunningly beautiful. Like the namesake gem, different species of sea sapphires shine in different hues from bright gold to deep blue. When they are abundant near the water's surface, the sea shimmers like diamonds falling from the sky. The secret to sea sapphire shine is in microscopic layers of crystal plates inside their cells. In the case of blue sea sapphires, these crystals are separated by only 4/10,000ths of a millimeter, about the same distance as the wavelength of blue light. When the blue light bounces off these crystal layers, it is perfectly preserved and reflected. But for the other colors of light, these small differences in the distance interfere, causing the colors to cancel out. This type of coloration is known as structural coloration, and though resembling a gem in hue, a sea sapphire's color has more in common with an oil sheen that has pigmented jewels. Combine this nifty trick with sea sapphire's impressive transparent body, and you'll have an animal as radiant as a star in one moment and invisible in the next. With that, we have come to the end of the video. What bizarre creatures have you seen in your life? Do mention in the comments. Hope you liked it. If you did, do like the video and share your opinions in the comments down below.
And I'll see you on the next one. Until then, keep it real.